Hi there, welcome back to SaveWithCrypto. My name is SaveWithCrypto, and today at midday and every weekday, maybe even the weekends as well, we're going to do a live stream at midday UK time, or that will be 11 AM UTC. Now, we did one yesterday. Actually, I'll say it was actually me in person, and then we had a video from maff, which was really good, by the way. You can watch that. I'll link to it in the top corner if you want to watch it, but do come along today as well. It's in about 2 hours time, so do come along. Now, what we were noticing yesterday was the fact that Bitcoin was pulling back, and Dafuk here said we have the 6-minute time frame giving green and super up, 12-minute time frame is green and 1 hour green, loading up my long here. Okay, so that's a pretty brave statement there. What he's referring to, of course, is our indicator, Quadzilla. So 6-minute, 12-minute and 1 hour time frame. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Now, this was when everybody was kind of thinking that we were going to go down further, but in actual fact, we didn't. So this is Bitcoin USD. This is the BitGet chart. So a quick look with Quadzilla. Okay, Quadzilla puts in this momentum oscillator down here, and these retracement lines up here, and a few other little bits and bobs that we'll talk about later in the video. But what was happening yesterday, round about midday, was in fact this green background here on the momentum oscillator. Now, what this also shows is basically this convergence band here. Now, when it gets really interesting is when it gets really narrow and thin and kind of concentrated, especially when it's below this 20% line here or above the 80% line up there. That's usually when you start to see it turn around, okay? So you can see that happened here and here as well. So that's how it looked on the 1 hour time frame. Now, what this green retracement line here usually means, well, invariably means, is the fact that the price has gone up, then it comes down, then it usually undershoots a little bit and then goes back up, and that's exactly what it did. So that played out absolutely perfectly. Let's just have a look at the 12-minute time frame, and you can see that at that time there, at 10 to midday, it was also giving this green background there, which was great. So it was looking like everything was going to go up. Let's just go back to the 1 hour time frame for the moment. Now you can see here that it plots these EMAs as well. These are red, cyan, yellow and green, which are EMAs. They are of 5, 9, 21 and 55 EMA. Now generally when the yellow is below the green one, that's the 21 below the 55, we normally consider that to be in a downtrend. And at the moment it still is in a downtrend, so we really want to see these turn around. It looked like they were trying to do that last night, but it didn't. It came down a little bit, so that's what I would love to see happen today. Now, I do want to show you this video that maff made yesterday afternoon. Now, this is a typical example of some of the content that we put in our Discord. It is a private Discord, but you can join for free if you want to by going to savewithcrypto.org/discord and just follow the instructions there. Now, maff did this update after an equally really good update that he did that was in the live stream yesterday. And I think there's some really relevant stuff here, especially when he talks about this void in the VRVP just above us.
Just a quick update, because I guess I promised that I would do another update earlier on this morning. Yeah, I was going to look at the higher time frames. Let's just have a quick revisit to the 1 hour. Obviously that played out nicely. I think that had actually happened before I uploaded the video into Discord, but hey, nice anyway. So we got the up and the down and then the up. After that, looking at this now, so that there is a bearish retracement level 113.1, so that's kind of looking fairly likely. I think it's going to come up and hit that. Obviously the EMAs are all very much pointing downwards here. The longer term 55 EMA is looking a bit less convinced than the others, but even so they're all starting to come around a bit. But even so we might kind of see a bit of a bounce off there, and then maybe a reaction down, and you would think then probably just a bit more up, maybe into this range, bounce a little bit, and then next leg up to the next range and so on. Obviously here there's empty space, there's like virtually no order volume there, and of course there's virtually nothing until we get up to this point, which is the line of control for the VRVP. In other words, where it's seeing lots of liquidity that's just kind of built up over here. Kind of legs up, I would think. At this point it might zoom up pretty quickly, then react in here, bounce down, and then carry on up. I think that was most of the analysis just on the 1 hour. But if we have a quick look at the higher time frames in any case, there was something else I was going to look at on here. Cannot remember what it was. It's probably fine. Yeah, so on the 4 hour, obviously if we move this around, that the point and control shift didn't there. That's not very obliging. Let's move it this way. Yeah, now suddenly it's up there. So it depends. It's kind of like whatever picture you want to form, pretty much. I think we might get a bit more information if we go up to a slightly higher time frame to see what's going on. This is interesting. Up here we've got lots of liquidity just showing, and it's kind of showing up in this area as well that's built up. So you kind of get that gap there. I'm kind of aware that I'm all of a sudden that I'm pointing at 121,000 there. But hey, we can be ambitious. Why not? Potentially draw a bit of a trend line. We don't do trend lines here, except that we do when they might have some sort of narrative to fulfill. So we could well see a bit of bouncing. I mean, that'd be a very simplistic sort of view of it, maybe a bit too reductive, I suppose. So there'll be a lot of messy price movement in the process of doing that, but ultimately could end up just following that sort of direction. So up to the 9 hour, there's a rather interesting step 3 of this retracement level, bullish retracement, glad to say. So that's already, of course, completed. It's up, then it's down, and obviously now it's working its way up towards the up. Yes, this one, 116.851. When it does get back up to there, so as I was saying before, it's going to kind of wobble its way up to that level with some reactions, particularly this sort of level, 115. It might even, so coming into these ranges, as I was saying before, it'll bounce along a bit, but then might react a bit here, or if at that stage, if this, because this will probably be maybe later on in the week, possibly the weekend, even a bit sort of into next week. It all depends just how fast this is all going to move. But I think once it gets up to here, it's going to, we hope, blast its way through. It'll react with this fair value gap just here. So that might kind of bring it back down. It'll be kind of testing support levels and so on its way back up. That's about all I've got for this for now. I think, again, probably by the time I upload this, everything will have changed. But at least this is a slightly longer term outlook, so hopefully not.
Now, I think a lot of what Maff said there is very, very relevant and still very relevant today as we see the price go a bit further up. So I think it's all looking good, to be honest. Now, I'm hoping that Maff can make it at midday today. I know he's got a lot on. He has actually got a full-time job and he's just doing this in his lunch hour, which is why we're doing it at midday. And I hope he can make it later on today. So I'll leave the link for the live stream in the description down below, so you can go and check that out at midday UK time, 11 a.m. UTC. I'll keep saying that over and over again for a while until it's like firmly embedded in your brain. Okay, so yeah, we'll see you then, and hopefully with Maff as well. So if you want the price of Bitcoin to go up, please do give the video a great big fat like, and while you're down there, make sure you are subscribed and you've got the notifications set on all. Any questions, leave them in the comments down below. See you at midday, and above all, tell your friends.